Welcome, everyone. Good to see you all this morning. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining for our 30-minute Vinyasa practice, which is proving to be pretty popular. A lot of people like this 30-minute format. So I'll continue to do it. I like it too. Let's take a few moments just to settle in. As we often do for this practice, let's just try 3 breaths to allow you to become present and ready to start practicing yoga. So just take a deep breath in and then let it go. And twice more. Deep breath in and let it go. And one more time, a deep breath in. And for this one, see if you can become fully present to your practice. And then just take a moment to feel your body resting on your mat. Notice your sitting bones and the slight pressure there. Good, and welcome again. Bring your hands to your knees, palms facing down. Sit up nice and tall. Let your shoulders come back and down a little bit. Chin nice and level. Deep breath in. As you exhale, look off to the left and then back to center and to the right. And back to center, and inhale, lift the chin slightly, not too much, and exhale, bring the chin towards the chest. Inhale, chin back to level, right ear towards right shoulder, and head rises back to center, and left ear towards left shoulder, and head back to center. Let's go through that all again. Off to the left, and then look off to the right. Head back to center, inhale, chin lifts, and chin towards the sternum. Inhale back to center, right ear towards right shoulder, and left ear towards the left shoulder, and back to center. Reach the arms up and overhead, palms touch together overhead, and then exhale, bring the hands down and let the fingertips touch your mat. Inhale, reach back up, and exhale, and bring the hands down. Reach the hands forward now, and then bring them back behind you. And again, reach the hands forward, and then back behind. One more time, reach the hands forward. This time, lift the hands all the way up, and then exhale the arms out to a T. Take a breath. On the exhale, twist to the left, just gently, not too much. And then back to center, and twist to the right. And back to center. Palms on knees, take a deep breath. Now just a slight bend to the right. So we're just creating a little bit of a C curve in the spine, but not so much that we're creating a big stretch. And then back to center, over to the other side. See if you can keep your core engaged the whole time. And back to center. Now reach the arms out, palms face up, bend the elbows. See if you can touch the fingers to the top of the shoulders. I'm sure you can. And then reach out. And bend, and straighten. Gentle fist, rotate the hands at the wrists, go around a couple of times one direction, and then back the other. When you're ready, open the hands, and just play with the fingers and the thumbs, just movement. Good, now let it go. Now bring your legs together with the soles of the feet facing down, hands behind you with the fingers pointing towards the back of the mat. Now on an inhale, straighten the left leg and then bend, and then straighten the other leg, the right leg, and bend, and straighten the left and bend, and the right and bend. Now come down to the elbows, with the palms pressing into the mat, and bend the left knee. You can straighten the right leg. We'll probably make this easier. And then bring the left leg across the body over to the right side, and then straighten. And then off to the left as the knee bends. We're just going to go around 3 times. And then bend that right knee, bring it towards the, or left knee towards the left shoulder, and then across the body. This is the last one. And then back to center, pull that knee in towards the shoulder, and then straighten the leg. To the other side, bend the right knee, bring it across the body now, and then straighten the leg, knee off to the right and back towards that right shoulder, and then across the body. And then off to the right. And one more time around. And then back to center. Now bring the right leg down. Now bend both knees again, so the soles of the feet are on the mat. Straighten the left leg and then rotate that left foot at the left ankle. And go around a few times. Go back the other way if you want. And then bring that left foot down. And same thing on the other side, on the right side. So rotate the foot. And then back the other way. And then let it go. Let's come back to a seat now. Nice cross-legged position. Just let your body settle into the cross-legged position. Spine nice and long. Take a breath. And let the breath go. Let's do that again, a deep breath. So the spine is lengthening, feeling the breath rise. And then exhale and let it go. Now bring your right hand down. Reach the left hand up. Press down on the left sitting bone and feel that stretch through the shoulder and the armpit on the left side. Now pull the left hand up and over towards the right side and begin to feel that nice stretch on the whole left side body. Now inhale and rise. The core engages as you come up. And bring your left hand down, bend the left elbow a little bit. Let's reach straight up with the right hand to begin, pressing down on the right sitting bone. And then pull that right hand over to the left, bending the left elbow a little bit more. And then inhale and rise back up. Let's do that one more time on each side. Right hand comes down, reach with the left hand. Feel that nice stretch on the body, and then inhale and rise back up. Remember to engage the core as you rise. Then bring the left hand down. And it's important here not to bring the elbow forward like that. You want the elbow up so the elbow is above the shoulder. And then reach and create that stretch on the side body. Now engage the core as you come up. And then bring the hands to the knees. We're going to do neck circles again. This time with the intent of stretching the neck a little bit. So right ear towards right shoulder, and relax this left shoulder down a little so that you start to feel a stretch on the left side of the body. Then bring your chin to your chest, and then left ear towards left shoulder, and then lift your chin up high, and then right ear towards right shoulder. And just notice all the sensation that this creates in the neck as you roll the head around on the shoulders. You can go around a couple of times one way, and then maybe back the other way a couple of times. Just noticing the sensation or the sensations that are created. And when you're ready, come back to center. Breathe in again. Now let's take a twist to the left. Bring the right hand to the left knee, the left hand down behind you. Breathe in, and then exhale into the twist. Whoa. And let it go. Over to the other side. Take a deep breath. Left hand on a right knee, and exhale into the twist. And then back to center. Hands on knees, take a deep breath again. Breathe in deeply and draw the navel in, and then exhale. Bring the chin towards the chest. Keep drawing your navel in. Bring your forehead down, maybe touching the forehead to the mat if you can. And then inhale and rise up. And then as you exhale, bring your hands behind you. Press the palms into the mat so your fingers are pointing towards the back of the mat. And then lift your chin, press your chest up towards the sky, and press the palms into the mat. Nice little back bend. And as you exhale, slowly rise back up. Draw the navel in again. Bring the hands to the knees. And bring your chin to your chest, and then the forehead down towards the mat. One more time. Inhale, rising. Hands behind you, fingers pointing towards the back of the mat. Draw your shoulder blades together. Bring the elbows a little closer and lift the chest. And then exhale and round forward one last time. Remember to draw your navel in. And then inhale and come up. And then come to hands and knees. All fours. Press the palms into the mat. Leave your right hand on the mat and reach the left hand up and overhead. And then as you exhale, bring the left hand under. Tap the left shoulder with the right, or the right shoulder with the left hand. And then press into the right hand and reach the left hand up. Do that a second time. Under the body, tap the shoulder, press into the right hand and reach up, look up with the left hand, and then bring the left hand down. Keep the left hand on the mat this time. Reach the right hand high and look up towards the thumb on the right hand. And then bring that right hand under the body. Tap the left shoulder, then press into the left hand and reach up with the right. Do that a second time. Under the body. And then reach up, look up towards the thumb, and then bring that right hand down so it meets the left hand. Now, cow pose, dropping the belly and lifting the chin. Remember to reach the tailbone away from the knees, and then exhale into cat pose, and do that again. Inhale to cow, and exhale to cat. One more time. Inhale to cow, big deep inhale. And exhale to cat. Now come back to a neutral spine. Then from there, step your left foot forward, bringing it between the hands. Press the left knee forward. You can come up on your fingertips if you like. And then straighten that left leg. Press the left hip back. And remember to reach your head forward. And let's do that one more time. Bend the left knee. Press the knee forward. Lift your head up a little bit, come up on fingertips, and then straighten that left leg. Press the left hip back, pull the head forward. Now the left knee bends. And this time straighten that left leg. Press the left heel straight back. Palms are on the mat. And then bend the left knee and touch your chin if you can with the left knee, and then straighten the left leg. Do that a second time, last one on this side. Knee towards chin, and then straighten the left leg, and then bring the left knee down so it meets the right knees. Now step the right foot forward, bringing it between the hands. Come up on fingertips and press that knee forward even more. Now straighten the right leg, press the right hip back and reach your head forward. And the more you reach the head forward, the more you're going to feel that stretch in the glute and the back of that right leg. Now bend the right knee, press it forward, lift your head up a little bit, and then straighten. This is our second and last one on this side. Pull the hip back, and then bend the knee. Now bring the palms to the mat, and step that right heel straight back. So my whole leg is about parallel to the mat at this point. Now bend the right knee and bring the knee towards the chin, rounding the spine deeply, and then straighten the leg and do it a second time. Knee comes towards chin, touch the chin if you can, and then straighten the leg. Now bring the right knee down so it meets the left knee. Drop your belly, lift your chin into cow pose, and then press your hands into the mat as you come into cat pose. Let your head drop down. Now back to a neutral spine. Walk your hands forward a few inches. Press back towards child's pose. Feel that nice stretch in the back here. If you don't feel the stretch in the back yet, walk your hands forward a little bit more. Now glide forward. Drop your hips down. Lift the chin. And then press back towards child's pose. And flow through that again. Gliding forward, dropping the hips, lifting the chin, and press back towards child's pose. Let's do it one more time. Gliding forward, dropping the hips, lifting the chin. Now level your chin, then tuck your toes and lift your hips into downward facing dog. And from there, I'd like you to walk your feet forward. See if you can keep your legs straight as you do that. Kind of a zombie walk. And then eventually come to a forward fold at the front of the mat. Bend your knees a little bit here. It's still very early in the practice. Let your head drop down and get heavy. Now bring your arms out to a T, palms face down.
Keep your spine long, engage the core as you slowly rise. Once you're up, reach your arms up and overhead, and then exhale the hands and bring them to heart center. Take a breath. And one more. Now on an inhale, reach up and then come all the way down, forward fold, half lift, and then let your head drop down. Lean forward a little bit so that the heels begin to float. Let your head get heavy. Let it drop down. Now slowly rise, chin on chest, spine rounds, arms float up high, and then to heart center. Leave them there, hinge at the hips, fold forward, come to a half lift, and exhale, let your head drop down. Now chin on chest, round the spine, rising, and the arms float high. Leave the hands up now. Interlace the fingers, point the index fingers, and stretch the index fingers up towards the sky. Now take a little bend to the right and back to center, and bend to the left and back to center and to the right. We're creating this sort of crescent moon shape, and back to center and over to the other side. Stretching the side muscles. Reach up high. And then exhale and bring your hands to heart center. Now bring the arms out to a T and come down halfway. Check in with your feet and make sure that they're parallel to one another and about hip width apart. Now lengthen the spine and reach the hands apart from one another. Your palms are facing down. Now intentionally bend that right knee as much as you can, and then rotate and bring the right hand down to the mat, just below your face. Reach the left hand up, look up towards the thumb on the left hand. See if you can bend that right knee just a little bit more. And then to the other side. Left knee bends, left hand comes down, right hand reaches high. Try and keep your spine long still, so try not to round, and look up towards the thumb on the right hand. Let's do one more time on each side. Right hand comes down, left hand reaches high, the right knee bends, remember. And the last one, left knee bends, left hand is down, right hand is high, gazes up towards the thumb on the right hand. Now bring the right hand down and take opposite elbows. Press the elbows down towards the big toes. Bend your knees a little if you want. Let your head get even heavier. Then press the elbows down, reducing the distance between the elbows and the mat. Now keep opposite elbows. Keep your biceps on either side of your ears and slowly begin to rise. And then once you're all the way up, reach the elbows towards the sky, and then pull the elbows back and look up, gaze towards the sky. Now release. Arms out to about a 45-degree angle with the palms facing up. Inhale and rise, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, let your head drop down. Arms to a T, bring the weight into the front of the feet so your heels are almost floating. Keep pressing into the front of the feet as you rise slowly. Let your arms float high, and then exhale to heart center. Let's do that a second time. Inhale up. Palms face up, and swan dive forward fold. Come to a half lift, and then exhale, let your head drop down. Bring the arms to a T, press into the front of the feet and rise slowly. Reach your arms high, and then exhale to heart center. Let your eyes close down gently. Take a breath. And another one. Now keep your hands at heart center. You can let your thumbs rest on your sternum if you like. Transfer the weight to the right foot and just pick the left foot up. And then bring it down. And pick it up again so that left knee bends. And bring it down. And one more time. Pick the foot up. And then bring it down. Take a breath. And let it go. Bring the weight into the left foot. Pick the right foot up. Whoa. And bring it down. And pick it up.
and down. And one more time. Pick it up. And then bring it down. Take a breath. Now leave your right foot forward. Step your left foot about a 3/4 step back. We're going to come into warrior one. Bend the right knee. Reach the arms up and overhead. Maybe bend that right knee even a little bit more. Now bring the hands behind you and interlace your fingers behind your back. Press the knuckles towards that left heel so the arms straighten and the shoulder blades come very close together on the back. Now straighten the right leg and hinge at the hips and think about reaching your head forward but not lifting your chin up. Come down about halfway and then press into that right foot and come up as slowly as you can. Lots of core strength utilized there. This time bend the right knee and we're going to hinge forward again at the hips. Come down halfway so your chest rests on the knee and then slowly rise back up. Now release the hands, reach them high, and then bring them to heart center. Once you're there, bring the weight into the right foot and step the left foot forward so that the toes overhang the edges of the mat. The toes are wider than the heels. Bend your knees and come down to a yoga squat. Elbows to the inside of the knees and breathe. 2 more breaths. And 1 more. Now bring your hands down. Press the palms into the mat. Thumbs are pointing towards one another. Fingers are wide. Now lift your hips. Let your head drop down. And then heel toe the feet back so they're about hip width apart. Let your head get even heavier. Bring the weight into the front of the feet. Arms out to a T and slowly begin to rise. Once you're up, bring your hands to heart center. We're going to step back into warrior one, leaving the left foot forward this time, stepping back with the right. Now square your hips up towards the front of the mat and bend the left knee. You can bring your hands down to your hips if you like. Now bring the hands behind you, interlace the fingers behind the back. You can use the awkward grip on this side if you want. Now straighten the left leg and hinge at the hip. Keep your spine long. Come down halfway and then press in that left foot and rise back up. Now bend the left knee as much as you can. Now hinge at the hips. Now let your chest rest on the knee and then press into that left foot and come back up. Release your hands, let them float high, and then heart center, pressing the palms together. Bring the weight into the left foot this time, and then step the right foot forward. Toes overhang the edges of the mat, bend the knees and come down. Second time, yoga squat. Elbows to the inside of the knees. And notice that my spine is pretty perpendicular to the mat, so I'm not leaning forward like that. I'm more upright. Couple more breaths. And 1 more. Now bring the hands down to the mat. Press the hands into the mat. Let your hips rise and then heel toe the feet. So they're about hip width apart. Now leave your right foot forward. Step the left foot all the way back into runner's lunge. Bend the right knee about 90 degrees. Leave the left hand on the mat and reach the right hand high into a lunge twist. And then bring the right hand down to the inside of the right foot. Untuck the toes and bring the left knee to the mat. Lizard pose. We're going to be here 2 breaths is all. Bring the elbows down to the mat if you can. Keep hugging that right knee in towards the right shoulder. 1 more breath. Now walk back up onto the hands. Then bring the right hand to the outside of the right foot, tuck the toes, and bring the left knee off the mat. Now we're going to reach that right leg all the way up and overhead into three-legged dog. Press the palms into the mat, reach the leg up, and three-legged dog, opening the hips to the right, and then level your hips and bring the foot down into downward facing dog. Press the heels down towards the mat and feel a nice big stretch in the whole back body, all the way from the heels up to the hips, and from the hips through the shoulders and into the neck. Now glide forward to plank and flow through Vinyasa. Come into upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. On an inhale, reach the left leg up, and then step that left foot forward so it comes between the hands. We've come to runner's lunge on our second side. Press back on that right heel. Now bring the right hand to the mat and reach the left hand up. Lunge twist. Keep pressing that left knee forward and pressing back on the right heel. And then bring the left hand down to the inside of the left foot. Untuck the toes, right knee comes to the mat as we come towards lizard pose on our second side. Elbows come down to the mat. So you can hug that left knee in a little tighter. 2 more breaths. And 1 more. Now walk back up onto the hands. Bring that left hand to the outside of the left foot. Tuck your toes and bring the right knee off the mat. Now we're going to lift this left foot all the way up into three-legged dog. Opening the hips to the left this time. Stretch it out. And then level your hips and bring the left foot down so it meets the right foot in downward facing dog. Press your heels down towards the mat. And breathe. Let's find 3 more breaths in downward dog, really making an effort to lengthen the space between the heels and the sitting bones and the sitting bones and the hands. So the whole back body. 1 more breath. Good. Now slowly walk your hands forward to your hands, or your feet forward to your hands. I don't know how you'd walk your hands forward to your hands. Let your head drop down, and then just slowly begin to bend your knees, and then come to a seat. And once you're seated, roll all the way down to your back. When you're on your back, reach your heels to the sky in the legs up the wall pose. Try and keep the legs together and keep them straight. And let the legs float all the way over to the right. A lot of core strength here. You can press into that right hand a little bit. Now let the feet land and look off to the left. This is straight-legged supine twist. Relax the back of that left shoulder a bit. 1 more breath. Now, if you can, keep your legs straight. If that's too much, bend the knees and lift the legs all the way back up. And then let the legs float over to the other side, over to your left side, and let your gaze move to the right. Take a couple of breaths. And 1 more. Now press into that left hand. Keep the legs straight if you can, or bend the knees a bit if you want. Let the legs float back up into legs up the wall pose. Now moving back to my mat. Bring your hands back down by your side. Press the palms into the mat. You can stay here for 3 breaths, or if you want, you can move into plow pose, bringing the toes up and overhead and touching down on the floor behind you. Then return to legs up the wall pose. Bend your knees. Soles of the feet come together now as the knees move apart.
into a pose called Supta Baddha Konasana, a wide-legged cobbler pose, or wide-kneed cobbler pose. That's actually not what I mean. It's an inverted cobbler pose. Press the soles of the feet together, and then very gently lift your tailbone off the mat. You can lift your tailbone up even a little bit more. Keep pressing the soles of the feet together. And you're probably going to start to feel that in the glutes. One more breath. And then slowly bring the tailbone down. Once the tailbone lands, let the knees come together. Hug the knees into the body. And if you want, you can bring your forehead towards your knees. Now release the head back to the mat. Bring your hands down by your sides. Let go of your legs. Reach your heels to the sky and the legs up the wall pose again. And then bend your knees. Soles of the feet to the mat. Heel toe the feet out to the edges of the mat. Bring your knees together so that the knees touch. Now press the knees together and lift your hips. See if you can bring the shoulder blades together a little bit. So at most, what you're going to get here probably is a straight line between the knees, the hips, and the shoulders. One more breath. And let it go. Let the tailbone come down. Now bring the knees apart, arms out to a T again. We're going to do another twist. Keep the feet right where they are, right on the edges of the mat. Let your knees travel to the left. And then look off to the right. And let your knees come back to center and over to the right. And flip your gaze over to the left. And then bring the knees back to center. And one more time, hug the knees into the body. And if you like, forehead comes towards the knees. Release your head. Take a breath. And one more. Now with your eyes still closed, rock to a seat. Take a deep breath in now and feel your spine get longer as you breathe in. Relax the shoulders, relax the neck, and let the breath flow out. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me today for our 30-minute vinyasa practice. I offer you loving kindness. May you be happy, well, and safe, and may you be peaceful and at ease. Namaste.